Joshua had died. Without a strong leader, the Israelites disobeyed God and worshiped false gods. They ignored and forgot about the one true God. God was angry. He let an enemy king take over the Israelites, and they served that king for 8 years. Then, the Israelites remembered how good they had it when they loved God and obeyed God. They cried out to him, "Save us!" God wanted the people to love and obey him, so God raised up Othniel to rule over them as the first judge. Othniel led the Israelites into battle against the king of Aram, and God helped the Israelites win. The land was peaceful for 40 years. Then, Othniel died. Again, Israel ignored God and forgot him. God gave the king of Moab power to attack the Israelites and defeat them. The Israelites served the king of Moab for 18 years. The Israelites were sad. They remembered how good they had it when they loved and obeyed God. They cried out to him, "Save us!" So God raised up Ehud to save them. The Israelites sent Ehud to the king of Moab, who was a very large man. Ehud had a double-edged sword under his clothes. Ehud said, "I have a secret message for you." The king dismissed all his attendants, so he was alone with Ehud, and the king stood up. Ehud pulled out his sword. He pushed it into the king's belly. The sword was swallowed up by the king's fat. Ehud couldn't even pull it out. Ehud escaped down the porch, locking the doors of the room behind him. Ehud was gone when the king's servants came in. The door was locked, and they thought he was using the bathroom. They waited, but the king never opened the door. The servants got worried, so they unlocked the door and found their king dead on the floor. When Ehud escaped, he blew a ram's horn and he became the Israelites' leader. God will help us defeat our enemies, the Moabites, Ehud told them. So the Israelites battled the Moabites and took control over them. There was peace in the land for 40 years. When Ehud died, the Israelites ignored and forgot God again. They turned away from him. When they remembered how good they had it when they loved and obeyed God, they cried out to him, "Save us!" God sent a third judge, Shamgar, to save them.
Well, hey friends, I'm so happy that we get to hang out again. I hope that you're doing really, really well and that you're staying safe. And that you are enjoying this time that we get to be together and learn about Jesus, learn about God and how he, takes care of his people. We learned about a story today about many different judges. And now these judges came at a time where Israel needed a leader, and one after another, God would send a different judge. So just like in the story that we just saw, the people kind of go through this cycle. And I want you to think about in your life if you ever do something like this. I know I have, where I have thought about doing what's right. I've thought about doing what's good, or what my parents have asked me to do. And I will continue to do those good, right things. And then I'll mess up. I'll forget to do my homework, or I won't take out the garbage, or I'll be mean to my brother or my sister, or something like that. And when that happens, then I forget about how I made a promise to myself, how I made a promise to my family, my friends, how I made a promise to God. And then usually what happens is I sit down and I pray. Just like the Israelites lived their lives how they wanted to, and maybe weren't living the best way possible. And then they, of course, ended up feeling that we all feel inside, that hurt feeling where we know we've messed up and we want to make it good again. And so the Israelites ended up praying to God, asking for God to send them a leader and to save them from the world that they were living in under bad kings, under bad rule. And you and I have probably experienced the same thing. Again, I know in my life where I am living under the rule of sin in my life. And maybe, again, I'm not the best son or not the best brother or not the best friend. Maybe I've messed up. And so then I go to God again to ask for his help. And I'll ask for him to give me strength to be a better person. And then I'll go to the people that I've wronged, like my parents or my friends, and I'll ask for their forgiveness and ask them to give me another chance to keep getting better, to keep being better. And so we go through these cycles in our lives where we are listening to God, but then of course we mess up because we're all imperfect people. But the thing is, this is the butter, this is the best, this is the bee's knees. The thing is that God hears our prayers, just like he heard the prayers of the Israelites. And he's always making a way for us to find him again. He is bringing the judges to the Israelites so that they can be strong and have good leadership and that they will continue to live lives for God. And he gave us Jesus, just like at the end of the video it talked about. He gave us Jesus, the perfect leader, the perfect person to make a way for us to be back with God and for us to find our way back with each other, with our friends, with our family, how we can be better people. The best thing is that God hears the prayers of his people. Just like when the Israelites prayed, he heard them and sent them a judge. And when we pray, he's reminding us that he sent Christ, the perfect leader, the perfect bridge maker from us to God. He is that bridge. And we get to constantly come back to God, and he forgives us and makes a way. I want you to think about that as you are looking at the story of the judges, as you think about those stories, because those stories, although are different, happened a long time ago in a different place with the people that spoke a different language. They wore different clothing, and they looked different than the way you and I do today. Their hearts, their struggles, their pain, their love of God is the same that you and I share. And although there are some differences, we are still all God's children, and he is still caring about each and every one of us. And we all make mistakes, but there is Christ in our lives to keep making that way back to God. So don't lose faith, don't lose hope. If you mess up, you're just like every other human being that's ever lived on this earth. And you need Christ and God the way that I need Christ and God. And we are all in this together. Hey, I hope that you're doing really well. I miss seeing some of your faces. VBS seems like it was 100 years ago. I really hope that we get to hang out and see one another again. I really hope that you are finding school to be a blessing, that you are enjoying yourselves and learning and growing. This is such an exciting time. Don't forget that you are in such a beautiful moment of your life. Please just take everything that you can, have as much fun as you can, care for people the way that Jesus cares for you, love on them, tell them how amazing they are. Even after this, find somebody near you. It could be your brother or your friend or your sister or your parents or your uncle or anybody. Just find anybody and just tell them how amazing they are, because Jesus would tell them how amazing they are. Hey, I will see you soon, and I hope that we get to hang out at some point. You're awesome, and I'll catch you later. Bye.